Well, hey there, everybody. How y'all doing? Hope everybody's having a wonderful day or night, and welcome back to my channel. As always, I'm Deluxe. All right, let's do another freaking Transformer review because I love some freaking Transformers. I got this guy in today. Supposed to get him yesterday on Saturday, but Sunday delivery from FedEx. So I got this guy, Haslab Omega Prime. Yes, sir, man. So excited. I'm really excited to get this. Will I be excited after the review? I don't know. We'll see. It's going to take a long time because there's a lot of stuff going on. But there you go. There is the box. Looks good. I might do a box opening real quickly for it too as well. I haven't opened it up yet, but there's Haslab Omega Prime. Looks good. On the side, you got Ultra Magnus. On the back, you got Omega Prime. You got blue bolts. Then you got Cerebros as well. You got the big Matrix Mamma Gemma blade. You know, the sword and everything. Very nicely done. Beautiful right there. And then you got Optimus Prime on that side. On the top, you got Omega Prime, Optimus Prime, and Ultra Magnus as well. On the bottom, a bunch of stuff, Omega Prime, stuff, everything's pretty cool. All right, yeah, really excited for this. But before we get to that, hit me with some likes, shares, prayers, and Care Bears. Hit that sub button for me if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel, and I really appreciate that. So, yeah, let's just get right to it, and let's talk about some Haslab Omega Prime. All right, man. I'm excited for this. Let's go.
All right, so here is everything that he comes with. First off, instructions. Lots of instructions. These are thick. You got the Omega Prime and Optimus Prime right there, and you got Ultra Magnus, and I think Blue Bolt is on this one as well. Speaking of Blue Bolt, here he is. It's a new character. Basically, he turns into the gun, for Ultra Magnus, but very nice. We'll talk more about him later on, but looks pretty cool, I guess. That's nice. So there's Blue Bolt. You do get two rockets or two little missiles right there, just white plastic. You get this is Prime's gun. Got some waffles a little bit. You got a little spinny thing right there. Very nice. You get two sets of kind of antennas or ears. This is for Prime. Nice chromed out silver right there. And this is for Omega Prime, gold chrome, which is nice. And speaking of chrome, this is the front of Ultra Magnus and the cab and the chest and everything. Nice blue and silver chrome. Very nice. Be careful with that. You get Cerebros, a little Tight Master. Nice silver paint for the face. The arms are painted red. You got the face over here. Looks good. Yellow and silver. Very nicely done. Articulation, swivel of the head real quick. Up and down for the arms. Not much anything special. And then you got the bend at the legs and the knees. And that is it. So there you go, Titan Master. Okay, here is the kind of the stand. This is one of the tiers. You get the stand. It's all gray plastic. You got light gray plastic and dark. This also forms. Like I said, I didn't watch RID. I don't know much about it, but I did some little research, and it was just kind of like a space bridge kind of thing going on. They could get around the around the world. I think that's what it is. If I'm wrong, definitely hit me in the comments. But this also, turns into a stand for both of them. But it also turns into like a road. You can, combine both of these together. These are the pieces that go all together, connect it and everything. So that's pretty cool. One of the tiers. We'll talk about that later. And then we have the long and strong. I'm going to get your friction on. This is the Matrix sword. That's what they call it. I think that's what they call it. Matrix everything. So basically, what you do is you take this and you can. Let's see. I think it will be like this way. Okay, go like that, and then this does come apart. You put that together. I think does it bend? No, it doesn't bend. All right, then you take this piece right here and just tab it. A little slot in right there, like that, and then take this piece. All right, you're gonna stay with me. There we go. Then just put that over this. And there you go. Like I said, it's long and strong. It's going to definitely get its friction on. Got silver paint right here, some Cybertronian letters right there, and then just purple plastic. I think these do come apart too as well. Yeah, so you can take those apart. So, nicely done. Silver paint. You do got some waffling throughout, but it's cool. Nice one of the tiers too as well. All right, so there you go. That is all that he comes with. All right, so we're going to take a look at the alt modes. We'll take a look at Optimus Prime first. Now, I already put on the little, antennas or anything like that. You just tab them in on the side of the head, and you can move them however you want to. But there you go. There's that. And I think it looks pretty cool. So you can take the gun also as well. You can store it, and it will work as some more wheels. So basically there's a little slot right in there, and you're going to take this, turn around, and you're going to slide it in right there. Like that, and it will also act as a wheel, and it does roll fine. Now, it doesn't have the rubber tires. It's plastic tires. I understand why they did it. You got silver paint right there. You got the Cybertronian right there. Nice translucent blue. You got some silver paint right here. That's pretty neato. And then all around, you got the Autobot symbol. You got some, a lot of red plastic. A little silver up here. Gray plastic right here. Some white plastic right there. Once again, they do got the rims are painted silver. That's nice. Got the C001, some tail lights. I like that. That's pretty cool. All right, now you got a little bucket right here. You can put your little Titan Master, little Cerebro, so you can put him in here, and he can ride dirty right there if you want to. That's pretty cool. And also, you can flip this around like this, and he can stand up in this right here. You can move the arms up a little bit, and you can do this like that. And he has, so there's some hard ratchets right there, but he can ride in there. Very nice. What you can do, you can flip these out as well, kind of like water hoses or something, or you can use them as, guns. They're on a little swivel right there, and then the ball peg right here. So you move them around. That's pretty neato. And you also have, now this does go all the way around. Now these are soft ratchets. When it goes around like that, you can go all the way around. Like I say, you can hear the hard ratchets, and you can go all the way back and everything. Golly, them are hard ratchets. Now you do also have that gimmick with the, well, not really the gimmick, you have the, rockets. They do not fire. I think the original one they did fire. But you can put blast effects right on these things if you want to on the tips. But they do not fire. You do got gunmetal silver. They're nicely painted right there on the base. So that's pretty neato. Flip that out, flip that out, flip that. Flip these back in if you want. They do open. This is mainly for base mode, but they can open. And you can extend this ladder too, and it does go very long. So that's very nice. And it will go up like that and everything. So that's pretty cool. All right, push that back in. And there you go. That's about it underneath, if you want to see that kind of thing. Pretty cool. Like I said, it rolls just fine. And if you want to take Cerebros, he can ride in here. And that's pretty cool. So there you go. There is Optimus Prime in his all. I didn't show you. I'm sorry, I didn't show you the light bars right here. They do move, for transformation and everything. You got all this stuff up here, kind of grady, feels rough and everything. That's pretty cool. But there you go. There's Optimus Prime. All right, here's Ultra Magnus. So like I said, you have to put this little chrome thing on. Basically, what it is, you just lift this up, and there's some tabs on the Autobot symbol part. And you just tab it into that part, and then you just move that down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to move this around, and it does untab really easy, so just be careful. Don't want to scratch this up. I may have to do this off camera. But basically, you're going to tab it in right here like that. And there you go. I got it. Cool. So there you go. That is how you put on that, I guess, front bumper piece right there. But here you go. Here he is. He's a little carrier. Rolls just fine. Once again, doesn't have the rubber tires, plastic. You got silver paint right there. You do got some nice translucent, some gunmetal silver right there. Beautiful chrome with a nice Autobot symbol right there. Looks good. And gold. Got some blue windows right there. Kind of weird. They did this and then like that. Got some fog lights right up there. That's pretty cool. You got the nice little cage and everything. And on the back, silver, yellow, orange. Yellow and red. Very nice. There you go. Now he does have a little, you can do this. You can untab right there. And then you can untab this right here. And you can move these out right here. And you can have like this. And then you can untab this right here. And you can do, like little Ultra Magnus can do. You can go up here. Right in the car. I think this maybe these little, yeah, they can fit one deluxe scale figure right there. And then you can drive this right up here, and then you can take Jazz if you want to, and you can put them up right there, and then just close it up and everything. that's pretty cool. So a little playability. So basically just flip these down right here, tab it in right there, and then tab it in right there. And then these will tab in right there. And these will tab in right here. Now you can, here is Magic Square Swindle. You can hold, you know, an MP scale up there, and then maybe a deluxe up there. You know, not scale at all, but, you know, just saying you could put, you know, the MP up there if you want to as well. So pretty cool. All right, so there you go. There you go. There is Ultra Magnus. Like I said, not much to him, but I do love that chrome and everything. Looks really good. So there you go, Ultra Magnus. Alrighty, and here they are together in their alt modes. So, you know, Prime is going to be a little taller just because of the ladder and everything. I think Magnus is a little bit longer as far as lengthwise. Yeah, they look pretty cool together. I like it. Like I said, unfortunately, I don't have the original ones to do comparisons with. I wish I did, but they're put up. But like I said, there you go. And everything. So, also with the like little road pieces. So here you go. There's these right here. So what you do is you put these together. You just put these just under there like that. You got that. And then if you want to display them on the roads, on these little roads or like little space bridge, you put this right here like that. And then right here like that. And then just tab them together. And there you go. You have that. So you can display it like this. It's pretty cool. Unfortunately, both of them cannot fit on it. But there you go. There's that. And there's that. So there you go. That is what you can do with that little road piece, whatever. All right, real quick. I'll just do some scale real quick. There is 2 deluxes right there. Red Alert and Jazz. And I'll throw in these are MP scale. These are the Magic Square Swindle and Brawl. So you can tell they are pretty big. So there you go. There's some scale for you. All right, real quick, we're going to take a look at Blue Bolt. Real quick, like I said, he's basically a parts former. He, you know, transforms into the gun and everything. He has a robot mode, which is cool. You can take his missile, you know, little missile or anything. You can tab him right there, or you can put them in his hands. And like I said, they can hold blast effects right there on the tip. Giggity. But there you go. So take those off real quickly. All right, we'll take a quick look at him. There you go. Nice little head sculpt. Got the gold eyes, red paint right there, and nice blue, dark blue and the light blue right there. You got the nice translucent blue right here. And that's about it, I guess, for paint. The rest of it just looks like plastic. That might be paint right there on his forearms. I think that is. That's a little shiny. Got a little nice shine or sheen to it. I think this is just plastic and everything. So not a whole lot of paint. Just some blue, a lot of blue and gray. You got some dark gray for the feet. Basically comes in like this, so you have to flip out the feet like that. He is a little back heavy or anything. He don't, you know, he'll stand up pretty decent, but sometimes he'll fall. He'll fall forward a little bit. All right, we'll go over articulation real quickly. You look down a little bit, not much. Look up a little bit, not much at all. Side to side, and a little attitude for you. It's on a ball peg right there. You got the, you can go out to about right there. Then you start hitting his head and everything. So you can go all the way around. You do have more than 90 degrees for the elbow bend. He's got some huge gun hands. Bicep swivel. This little red piece right here will swivel too. His swivel, this will come apart. Like I said, he's basically a parts former. You're going to take him apart, you know, to do that and everything. He does have a waist swivel. All right. Van Damme all day, every day. You kick up, about right there. You can move that out of the way. You can kick up a little further. Kick back. You do have a thigh swivel. The knee does move. And you got like that right there. That's pretty cool. You can go tilt up, I guess, if you want to. And you do have a rocker. Not a big one, but I don't think you really need that much of him. Everything, like I said, he's one of the tiers, I think. Like I said, a new character and everything. So pretty cool. All right, there you go. There is Blue Bolt in his bot mode. Awesome. And real quick, just a little scale with him. There's Siege Optimus Prime. You got Side Swap. You got Core Class Wheelie. They got Tismiki Ratgar. So he's a little taller if you want to use his head. If you don't count the shoulder, you know, things you do. He's about deluxe scale. So there you go. right, so this is how you get Blue Bolt. I forgot to flip up the little, targeting system. Nicely done. All you do, you're going to tab it in right there, and you're going to tab it in right there. And there you go. There is Ultra Magnus with Blue Bolt together. That's one of them. There's 3 different ways you can do it. You can also, I'll show you, there's one way, I don't know what it's for, and there's another one where you can just take him, like I said, he's going to fill in some, waffles when Ultra Magnus is in bot mode, and I'll show you that whenever I transform him. But there you go. That's what you can do with his weapons right there. All right, back for transformation. Here is the inner core robot of Optimus Prime. I mean, it looks all right. I don't like this. I don't know. I tried to push it back, in as far as I can, but you got these 2 gaps right here. I really don't like that. I guess you can move these a little bit, but I thought they may tab in. That would have been pretty cool. But yeah, no. Also, make sure the head it's on a little slider like that, like this. And once it's all the way back for transformation, make sure you push it forward. That's pretty good. And with the little light bars, you can move them up. I think that's what it's supposed to look like right there. Now, these do untab. Just be careful with those. But you can leave them down if you want to. It's your Transformer. Have fun with it. But I love the head sculpt. Looks really good. Love this metallic blue, the silver, the metallic blue throughout. Looks really good in the silver. So really good on a paint job. Everything. Be careful. Somebody hit me up. I saw this on Facebook. Somebody hit me up on my unboxing as well. That there are some cracks right here. Unfortunately, fortunately, I do not have any cracks on mine. So mine's looking pretty good. Now, it was when you have to press down the chest, all the way down to hit right there. Be careful. That was a little scary because it is really tight. But once you do it a couple times, I'm sure it's going to loosen up. Giggity. But yeah, just be careful with that. But I don't have any, I've seen some cracks and everything. I don't see any cracks on mine. So that's good news. So I do like the, translucent blue. This red right here is painted as well. Very nice. You got this, gunmetal silver right there. Like I said, very nice. All right. So as far as articulation, you look down a little bit, not much up. If you start doing them a little up, you will break the sculpt. All the way around, the ears do move. I love the silver. Love the beautiful gold eyes. Those look really nice. You do got a little attitude as well. It's on like a little ball peg. So that's pretty good. But they didn't paint this. I don't know why they just let that gray. Should have painted that silver too as well. All right. The arms are kind of weird. You go all the way up to there. And then you got the little ratchets and everything. So that's pretty good. You can go all the way around. You do got a 90-degree bend, but then you do have a bicep swivel, but then it kind of gets in the way. This is ugly back here, so you got to kind of move that away to get that. So it's all right. Wrist swivel right there, so that's pretty good. All right, move that. I like the ratchets. You do have a waist swivel. It does get there, but this does get in the way. But if you untab it, then you can get the waist swivel. So I don't like that. That's not, that's not ideal, but I guess it does work. You do have an ab crunch as well, but you can't look up, so it kind of defeats the purpose. But it's there. Make sure you push that all the way down. You can Van Damme, nice ratchets. Van Damme all day, every day. And then ratchets kicking up, nice hard ratchets. And back, you do have a thigh swivel and a knee swivel. Less than 90 degrees. You do got some thick old legs down here. You can tilt up, tilt down, and you got a little rocker as well. And you got a little heel spur. That's pretty good. Like I said, you got the back right there. You got a little flap that untabs or anything like that. And then you can take his weapon, and they'll go in either hand. You just tab it in right there, and there you go. All right, so I mean, he's all right. Like I said, people are not. I didn't get this for him. I got it for the combined mode, and everything. So, but if this is what you're getting this for, you might be a little disappointed. But there you go. There is the inner core robot of Optimus Prime. All right, real quick, there is Studio Series A6 Optimus Prime. You got Siege Prime, you got Siege Sideswipe, you got Core Class Wheelie, and then you got Leader Class Age of the Primes Megatronus back there, the Fallen, and then you got Tits McGee Retgar. So he's a big guy. He's bigger than Leader scale. So there you go. Some scale for you. Oh, real quick, you can use the stand as well. You just got a little hole right there. Use this end right there, and you basically just find the hole, and there you go. You can get them some dynamic poses. Awesome sauceum. All right, so here is his base mode and everything. It is really tall. Let's see if I can get up to there. So yeah, you can tell how tall it is to him and everything. So I mean, it's cool they threw this in. That's a nice little throw in right there. So it looks pretty cool. Let me turn around a little bit. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, you have this little option if you want to do that. You can move these around. The hands do move. These are for the bigger Optimus Prime. These move as well. His head moves around. You can use these as guns too if you want to. So that's pretty neat. So pretty cool. Now there is this little, I don't know what this is, or somebody's gonna have to tell me what this is. I mean, there's this little green thing. It's nice translucent green. It's got some silver paint. It looks like yeah, I think it's like silver paint. And you're supposed to bring Optimus Prime over here. I mean, is this like I don't know, it's like a, I don't want to say cog, but I don't know what it is. It just just shows it in the so there's a little spot back there. You can put this right in here if you want to. I mean, you can't see it, but it is an option. I may have to do that off of the thing, but yeah, it's supposed to go in there, right there. Fortunately, it will not let me. I guess try to put it in there. There we go. Okay, so there it sticks back there. Is that a spark or something like that? Like I said, I don't know very much about RID. Like I said, I don't remember watching the cartoons at all. We didn't have a chance. I didn't watch them. But anyways, if anybody can tell me what that is, you know, if it's a spark or something like that. So yeah, there you go. There is base mode. All right, there's one more thing you can do with the bot. You can take the feet, you know, take them apart, and you can tab them on here. Look, there's a hole and there's a tab right there. The hole, put something in it, giggity. And you got that, and it gives him the 80s women working shoulder pads, big time, and everything. That's when you're supposed to put that little green piece back there. Like I said, I have no idea what that is, but you have this kind of you know, shoulder cannon with the, you know, rockets and everything, which are nicely, you know, metallic blue. I love that. But you have that option as well if you want to do that. But like I said, he still can, you know, stand up pretty good. You know, I thought it might be a little, you know, a little heavy on him, but it's not that bad at all. But, you know, if you like that kind of thing, there you go. There's another option. Alrighty, back for transformation. Here is Ultra Magnus, and he is fugly, just like the original one. He does have a lot of gappage and everything, but Blue Bolt will come in to play, and I'll show you all that in a little bit. You have a couple options you can do with him, but yeah, to fill in, you know, look at all that. That's a lot of waffles and gaps and everything, and up here too as well. Now he does, now the little green thing, I did find out it is the Matrix. If you untab this, if you saw during transformation, it's right there, if you can see it. Hopefully it's a little green little you know, square thing. It's the Matrix, what it says. Like I said, I forgot, you know, like I said, I didn't watch the cartoons. I just got the toys because I saw them at Walmart. But here he is. You know, nice head sculpt. You know, got the white paint, you know, nice Autobot symbol in gold eyes, looks good. You got silver right here, nicely painted. You know, you got the screws just looking at you. It's kind of ugly right there. You got some nice paint right here. You know, the silver, the yellow, the orange. I mean, yeah, yellow and red, I meant. And then the feet right here. You got that nice chrome back here. Be careful when you're moving that around. You got the big old feet back there for Omega Prime and everything. Like I said, you got the jet packet, which it looks pretty cool. Same thing, you know, in the cartoon. You got, I guess you can put blast effects in there, so that's pretty neat. That was a little confusing trying to get the jetpack to get or anything, but trying to push these in, the little wings into the, you know, this area right here took a little bit that I thought. But all right, head as far as articulation, you can look up, nothing down, all the way around, and a little, I guess not an attitude really, but you can look up pretty good. You can go up to here. That's it. You can go all the way around. You may have to manipulate around there. That's pretty cool. Got some big old, you know, arms and everything. You can get about, I guess 90 degrees, I guess. Bust it, swivel. Thumbs look really weird and everything. The hands, you got all on one pin. You can move this. The thumb is up and down. That's pretty good. And you got a swivel right there. No way swivel, because you had to put the, you know, the legs together or anything like that. So very limited. He was a brick in the, you know, original one. Nice ratchets. You get the Van Damme all day, every day. So that's pretty cool. You can kick up. Pretty good. Nothing really back. Everything's in the way. Thigh swivel, knee bend, all this stuff. He's just got a lot of stuff going on. Definitely did not get it for this guy. For, you know, just single mode. You do got a rocker a little bit, and nothing up or down, anything like that. So very limited in the articulation because he is a brick. You do got a thigh swivel. Okay, so with this, you take blue bolt right here. So there are two pegs right here, and like that, and you can, let's see, I think you do it like this and do it like that, and you just tab it in right up there. Well, it's not the easiest to try to get everything in there. Golly, I'm gonna do that off the camera. I'll be right back. Jeebus. All right, I was finally able to tab that in. So basically, like I said, there's two holes, and then you can use the top one, and you just tab it in. But it's not the greatest connection for this part to this part, so you may have to take it apart to do it. But you can move this around and have this like handlebars or something like that, and like there you go. And you can have a weapon system for him, which, you know, looks pretty cool. But it's a pain in the taint to try to get those in the hole and everything. So, but that's an option with blue bolt and everything. So there you go. Oh, so also you can take apart this. You know, like I said, he's a thing right there, and you could, you know, it's got some 5mm ports. You could put them right there, you know, if you want to, or you know, you can put them up here. You can also put this out like that. And you can put it right there if you want. If it'll go in, probably won't go in because it's on a hinge right there. Yeah, but anyways, you got little 5mm ports throughout. If you want to do that, you have that options, and then you have, you know, this. If you want to put this on here, you know, like I said, just have fun with it. You know, if you got a hole, like I said, put something in it. You can use your imagination, and you can make up some things and everything. So yeah, you can use blue bolt for weapons and everything. That's pretty cool. All right, so what we're gonna do, like I said, with bolt, you know, blue bolt, whatever. Take these out real quickly, and then what you want to do is you want to open this up, and then you want to take that off, and then what you want to do is, okay, so this piece right there, so the port right here, let's see, it goes in like this. So this is kind of going to fill in, it goes right there. So just got to find the hole like that. And same thing with this one. It's going to go like this, and then you just find the hole like that, and kind of fills in right there. Then what you're going to do, you're going to take, let me see if I can, I'm supposed to tab in a little better. So this is supposed to kind of fill in the gaps, I guess, if you want to say. And then this, you're going to move this around like this. And there's another 5mm port down here. You just put that in here like that. And same thing with this. Just find that port right there. There you go. Then you can take these missiles, and they're just supposed to go right here, I guess, like that, or I guess right here. I think it's this way. Whichever way. I don't know. That looks kind of goofy, but you know that's what the instructions say. So to put there, and then with the body part, you're gonna come around. Let me lift this up real quickly, and you're gonna untab this. First, you're gonna get this, and you're gonna make this go like that, and untab that there. So there's a little post right there, right here, and this is supposed to kind of fill in the gap right there, like that. Like that. And then you just tab that back in. There you go. And so that kind of fills it in there. Still some gappage in there. You know, it's better than it was, but and then that's supposed to fill in all that stuff back there. So that's just another option for Blue Bolt if you want to do it. Awesome. I think I like it whether, you know, he's going to be with the guns and everything. But I'm going to have him combine mode anyways. But there you go. There's Ultra Magnus. And real quick, there he is next to the, you know, inner core of Optimus Prime. You got Siege Prime and Sideswipe. You got Core Class Wheelie, Studio Series A6 Prime, and then Tis McGee Ratgar. And there's some scale for you. All right, one more option before we get into Omega Prime. I guess they shook or something during the cartoon or something. I don't know for sure. Anybody can tell me. So he basically just put his thumb into the hole of his of Optimus Prime's, you know, hand. And it kind of looks like they're shaking hands and everything. So, yeah, that options are great for Transformers. Kind of goofy looking, but hey, it's there. All right, back from putting this thing together. Man, he's a beast. All right, so I had to take this off camera because, like I said, there's two little slots right here on this side, and there's one on the back of this gray piece. They got a tab in. This also got a tab in right here. This little crease in right there, little slot right there goes in like that. And the two tabs, like, that I don't like, in the inner core, the core mode, they tab in right there. So make sure that is there. There's the matrix right there, which is pretty cool. And yeah, just make sure everything is tabbed in pretty good. And then this is, you can untab it right here and put it like that. If you want to leave it right here, you can, whatever, it's your Transformer. And you can also tab in the gun, the core bot. You can tab in right there if you want. So pretty cool. So here he is. Man, he's a beast. Not terrible to put together. The only thing that really pain to taint is trying to get this thing in. You just got to line it up correctly. But, like the head sculpt, looks really good. Nice silver paint. The gold eyes looks really good. You got the chrome right here for the head, the ears. You can look down. So it's on I don't know what's on, like a little hinge or something like that. You can lift it up a little bit. You can look down quite a bit, look up, quite a bit too as well, all the way around. It's on a ball peg too as well, so you can get a little attitude and everything. But it's kind of got you can move it up. It's on like a hinge thing right there. So if you want to move it back, you can. It's your choice, whatever you want to do. You got the nice 80s woodworking shoulder pads right there. Orange paint, silver right there. Got the blue, metallic, silver, all this. Great paint throughout. All the bottom, the metallic blue, the silver, once again. All right, so you can go all the way around. No ratchets. Just, kind of weird. You can go up to there. They got ratchets right there. So you got that. You do got about 90 degrees for the elbow bend. The gun's on the side right there. Bicep swivel, which is nice. The hand, you got the thumb. It's on like a little hinge, and then all four of the fingers are. I wish they would have, been individually been able to move, but you got a swivel and a little in and out too as well. So the hands are kind of fugly. All right, move this out of the way. You do got a waist swivel a little bit. Now this will start getting away. You may need to can lift that up a little bit, and you get about right there. If you want to lift it all the way up, you can get a little further. You can do that if you want. Just be careful. You don't untab it or anything like that. No ab crunch or anything like that. Nice soft ratchets. You get the full Van Damme, which is good. You can kick up. Like I said, this is going to get in the way a little bit, so you can kind of move it up. And he's a big boy, so you can get up about right there, back there. You do have a thigh swivel and a knee swivel once again. Ratcheted knees, once again, no, not 90 degrees. You do have a toe tilt up and down, toe tilt up and down, and you have a rocker too. But that goes with it, so just be aware of that. You do got this big old ladder. It is big, got a big backpack, everything, but he stands up pretty good. Not bad. I don't have any issues with him standing, so that's pretty good. So yeah, there you go. There is Optimus Prime in super mode. All right, real quick, there they are. There's the money shot. There is Prime and Ultra Magnus and Blue Bolt right there. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Definitely like this a whole lot better than Ultra Magnus. I think it looks really cool like that. Once again, I threw in MP44 Optimus Prime. We got Megatronus, we got Siege Optimus Prime, and Sideswipe, Core Class Wheelie, Studio Series A6 Optimus Prime, and then Tits McGee Ratgar. And there's some scale. There's some big fellas. All right, here's another option if you want to have them on stands. What you do is you just, there's a little butt flap right here. You can tab into the hole right there, and then this one just tabs in the back of him right there. So I like that. That's a pretty cool display. If you want to do that with the little stands, that's awesome. I like that. All right, so here's Omega Prime in all his glory. He's freaking huge. And you got the blue bolt up there on top. You just tab them in. There's two little slots. You just tab it in right there. You got that. Now, I had to take it off of the camera because trying to get this, the whole section of the top part into it was a pain in the butt. The arms and the legs are pretty easy, but you're tabbed in right here on the back with the backpack, with a jetpack right there. You're tabbed in right there. There is two slots in this white part, white plastic of Ultra Magnus, and you're going to tab into, there's two little tabs on Optimus Prime. And also, just like Super Mode with the chest, you're going to tab in into the chest, those two little slots that are really ugly. But they tab in, and that is pretty secure. So that is very nice. Like the head sculpt, you got the nice silver paint, you got the blue metallic eyes, you got the gold ears right there. That is pretty cool. You got the little shoulder cannons. Articulation is going to be the same throughout, just like everything, just like Super Mode and everything. You got all that. You got the little fingers right here. They're all in one pin, so you do got 2 points of articulation, and then the thumb. You got an ugly thumb, everything. I do like the Autobot in there. That's pretty cool and everything. You do got a huge backpack. It is pretty good. It's stable. It's got some, these extra for the kickstands and everything. So, he does wobble a little bit, but he's pretty good. He stands up pretty good. Love the chest. I love this metallic blue and silver and the gold. Looks really good. Very nicely done with that. So yeah, articulation is about the same. You got the up and down, all that stuff and around, all that stuff. So he's a big boy. You're not going to, try to get him into, great poses or anything like that. So I'm going to take the Matrix sword, and what you're going to do is you're going to tab in. There's little slots right here, and you're going to tab into the hand right there. I'm going to try to tab it in there. See if you can hold it. All right, there you go. And that is a huge sword. I can't even get it all in frame. So it's a big sword. So there you go. But yeah, there he is. That is Omega Prime. Awesome. And real quick, you could still use the stand with him as well. Now he does have an adapter piece that you have to tab in right there, but you just tab it in the booty, and I like that. Like I said, I like them with, both of them on the stands, and I think he looks pretty cool. Like I said, he got that huge freaking sword, so very nice. So there you go. There's Omega Prime on his stand. All right, once again, here's all the stuff. You got MP44 Optimus Prime. I even threw in Deluxe or DLX. That's 3.0 Optimus Primal. This guy's huge and everything. So you got Tess McGee, Ratgar, all that good stuff. And there you go. There is some scale. And man, he's a big mamma jamma. Well, hey there, everybody. If you made this far, as always, I freaking appreciate that. Final thoughts on Haslab Omega Prime. Overall, I'm satisfied with my purchase. He was $300. Would have been cool if it would have been maybe $200, $225. Would have been a lot better. But $300 is a lot of money for this thing. But he does a lot of stuff. Playability's there. This is from the 2001 RID. Like I said, sorry, I don't know a whole lot about the cartoon because I didn't watch it. I just remember it got me into collecting back in 2000, 2001. And I was really excited walking through Walmart, and I saw Transformers. I was like, I used to collect those. So I started getting these, and I actually got the Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus too as well. So fortunately, I had mine put up, so I couldn't, do any comparisons. Sorry about that. But there's tons of reviews out there already to do in comparisons, so you can, definitely check that out and everything. So I like the alt modes; they're really good. I like the combined mode for Optimus Prime, the Super mode. I really like that, and I like the Omega Prime as well, and everything. The Corebot Prime and the Ultra Magnus, kind of meh. They're not that great. Definitely, that's not the reason why I got it. I don't think if you got it for that one, for that special, that reason, hey, congrats, you got something that you like. But mainly, a lot of people got this, for combined mode. Like I said, I love the combined mode for Optimus Prime. Looks really good. Paint-wise, really nice. A lot of metallic blue, a lot of, this chrome, everything, the silver, all that good stuff. Now the extras, so, I like the sword, long and strong, gonna get your friction on. Nice little sword. I like the Cybertronian letters and everything, looks pretty good. The Cerebros, I don't care about that. The stands, I really like the stands, man. When you put them up, when you're displaying them on the stands, they look really good. So I really do like that. Would have been cool to get some paint or something, just gray plastic. But overall, I do like the stands. You got all this extra stuff for, Optimus Prime. That's pretty cool. We got a little weapon, everything. Articulation, Ultra Magnus is okay. It's a little better than the original one, but that's not saying much. It basically was a brick. And then the core bot, Optimus Prime, is okay. And, with the combined modes and everything, the articulation is okay. Materials feel, pretty good on mine. You got the Blue Bolt, or Blue Balls, whatever his name is. That's pretty cool. I mean, he's basically just a, add-on kit for him or something like that. I'm going to use it for mainly just for the weapons stuff, but it's pretty cool. They gave him a character or something like that, alt mode and bot mode. So that's pretty cool. But I'm going to use it for the weapon mode. Looks good. Like I said, I love the sculpt work and everything. I like the Autobot symbols in there, all that stuff. Materials, like I said, there someone hit me up and said, be careful. There's some cracks and everything. Luckily I didn't get mine. Didn't get anything wrong with mine. Hopefully, yours. A lot of people hit me up and said they're getting theirs this week. So hopefully nothing is wrong with yours. I hope it's not a widespread thing going on. A couple of people's already got cracks on the chest and everything, but luckily mine did not have that. I saw one where one Ultra Magnus or somebody's yellowing or something already. So that really sucks. I mean, as much as you're paying for this, that should not happen at all. Luckily mine is not doing that. I'm hoping yours is doing the same as well. Won't have those issues. But it kind of sucks, and hopefully Hasbro takes care, and fixes everybody's and everything. So that's pretty good. So overall materials feel good and everything. I'm happy with my purchase. Kind of wish it would have been cheaper, but you get a bunch of stuff. The playability's there, and I do like the combined mode. So hope you like my review. Hit me up some likes, shares, first, and Care Bears. Hit that sub button for me if you don't mind. Hit me up some comments. I hope I went over everything that I could possibly do. My transformation sucked. Like I said, it does really suck when you're behind the camera trying to get everything lined up. So that's why I had to take it off camera for a lot. But it's a lot easier when you're on your couch or something, or you're sitting at your desk or something. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next Transformer review. And as always, be good to yourself. Hail freaking Transformers, and good night, folks.